Welcome to She's Crafted to Thrive. I'm your host, Nikita Williams, and this show is for all the ladies who are making and creating things that they love. You will hear conversations about the real everyday struggles of juggling life and business while trying to maintain passion and harmony. As women, we have the skill of getting things done, but sometimes we get in our own way. It's here where you'll see that you're not alone. You'll discover that success does not mean perfection. Fear and negative thoughts and challenges are all a part of the journey. And on this podcast, you'll find the inspiration and tools you need to have a life and business that thrives. Hello. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of She's Crafted to Thrive. I'm so excited to be doing this solo cast with you guys. This one is going to talk about 3 different steps that I use and that I see work for so many other women in their business to connect to their tribe online. Now, before I start going into the details about this, I know that the space in social media can be really overwhelming. It could feel completely stressful, especially for my ladies out there that are moms, that are single parents, that are women who are dealing with chronic illness. It's kind of like one of those worlds, like you go on Instagram and you kind of get instant FOMO, right? You get instant FOMO, you get instant envy and jealousy and all of those things. And I think we as a whole, as people who are working and using Instagram to market their business or Facebook to market their business, we need to shift how we do things. And it's interesting because the world of social media was created to create moments for people to truly connect. And it's kind of done that. And then it's kind of done some other stuff, right? Some not so great positive things. So I want to talk about how we can work really well with this platform. And what I love about these 3 steps is that no matter what happens to the algorithm, these 3 steps will always help your business marketing it online. Okay. So I'm going to get into this really quick. This is going to be a pretty brief episode because I have a freebie on this topic. It includes a guide. It also includes a checklist and a weekly planner. So if you feel overwhelmed with social media and not really sure where to start in sharing your story or sharing anything on there, these 3 steps are for you. So here they go. I call them the 3 awesome, amazing words: connect, give, serve. CGS. Now you might be like, Nikita, what are you talking about? Of course you need to connect and give people. And how do you serve people? How do you make money doing that, right? Well, I'm going to tell you how. But first, I'm going to share with you what it means to connect and what it means to give and what it means to serve when you're doing your marketing planning and doing your stuff on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever your platforms are, where your tribe is. Okay, first, connect. Be real. Ask questions, be encouraging, be engaging, and this should be done every day if possible. We always hear all the time that we need to be consistent in our marketing and consistent in whatever we're doing. And I feel like the part that most people miss being consistent in is the connecting part. Now, the algorithm for Facebook and Instagram and any kind of social media is really based on how long is someone going to stay on a platform. How long? That means what are they doing? What are they liking? What are they commenting on more than just smiley faces and hearts? What is that content going to be? So that will always be the game for social media platforms because they want people on those platforms for a lot longer period of time. So this is why I say this is algorithm proof. If you are creating content where you're real, if you are going onto other people's profiles and asking questions of them and sharing stories of your life and being encouraging, you will see how Instagram and Facebook will love you. You will start to see way more engagement on your feed. Okay. Now, specifically when it comes to the second way of connecting online is to give on your platform, on your feed. So whatever information you should be putting out there should be helpful and resourceful for the people you want to serve 90% of the time. Now, when I say give, I mean free. So I'm not talking about creating ads or content and stuff on there that requires people to buy from you. I'm not talking about selling. I'm talking about literally giving, the principle of giving without expecting anything coming back. Now, I'll talk to you guys in a second about why I put these things in this order, okay? But when you're creating content on your weekly or your monthly schedule, think of things that are going to be helpful to your audience. say you're a photographer and people, a lot of people want to be a photographer themselves, right? They have other things that are in their minds about how to market their business or how to brand their photos and things like that. Give tips and tools, even though you're a photographer. Now, here's an interesting point about giving. I feel that I need to get this out here because let's be real. I feel like there's a stingy quality of giving, right? A lot of people feel that I don't want to give all my goodies away. Well, let me be the first to tell you, the only goodies that you have to give away, honestly, is your story and how it connects to what you're giving. Because there's nothing new under the sun, ladies. I mean, pretty much everything can be Googled. Like, you don't even have to go to college for this stuff anymore. You can just go online, go to YouTube, go to Google, and figure out pretty much anything you ever wanted to learn, which is amazing, by the way. But it's nothing special that anyone is actually doing. There are some people who have changed the game of how things are done, but you're not going to be the only one in the pond doing the exact same, doing that one thing. Like, there's going to be tons of people doing what you're doing, and what's going to make a difference is how you relate your story to who you are serving. So just make sure when you're giving resources that will be helpful to your tribe, that it comes from your perspective, and be free of giving it, right? So, so what? You don't want to give your tips on how to pose your clients. Guess what? Your clients that might want to work with you do. It's a beautiful thing. What happens is when you share what you do and how you do it, people realize the value in it. And then 9 times out of 10, they don't want to do it themselves. They want to hire you to do it. So it's really important to just be open and sharing and giving and being helpful when you're thinking about creating your content online. Okay, my third thing is to serve. Now you might be meaning, like, I thought connecting and giving is serving. And yes, that is true. But when I'm talking about serve, and this is how I'm changing kind of the mindset, I'm talking about selling. Now, selling on social media can be icky. Like, we've all been there where you go to someone's profile and it feels like all they do is sell, sell, sell. They want you to buy, blah, blah, blah. And notice the reason why I used connect and give first. And I also said in the giving section that you should spend 90% of your time doing just that, giving freely, right? Connecting should be every single day. You should be doing that every day as possible, like every day, as much as possible. Connecting, asking questions, be encouraging, engaging on other people's profiles, because people will see you as a giver. People will see you as someone who is really looking to help someone regardless of what is coming your way. But we do have to pay the bills, right? So when I say serve, I really mean sell. I just like the word serve because I feel that that's what we're doing. As much as we think about selling, we always have like a negative context. Like, a lot of us have this fear of selling when it comes to our business, right? So we're like, we don't want to ask people for money. We don't want to, go out of the way to be like, hey, I'm sorry, my services cost this. First of all, stop feeling sorry about your services. This is what it is. It's a service. It is giving of your time because your time is valuable to you and it's valuable to that other person. So we don't want to feel like used car salesmen and all this other stuff, making up stuff and blah, 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 blah. A really good salesperson understands that being able to serve your audience is the same thing as selling. So by serving, you are showing them the means in which you can help them or solve a problem with what you do. So the 10% of what you put out there on Instagram and Facebook or wherever you're using your social media or your website needs to focus on what you do. Like, the 10% of what you do or you put on Facebook or Instagram needs to be about what you do, right? It needs to show how you can solve a problem for the people that you serve. And you show them the benefits. You can sell something by showing them the benefits. You can serve by showing them the benefits, right? And how do you do this? Well, for one thing, when you share how maybe you've helped a client increase their awareness in their services by creating photography images, or if you are a bookkeeper and a bookkeeper is now their clients have 10 hours a week more to do what they can do, those are benefits that serve your ideal client. So talk about those things because it's selling what you do, right? The other thing too, I want you guys to remember is that serving is kind of like a thing, right? Like, you go to the restaurant, and if you go to a restaurant and you order food, you have a server. A server comes, takes your order, talks to you, gets to know you a little bit. And then at the end of the day, you get a bill and you have to pay for that bill, right? And then you tip them. What a concept. You give them a tip based on how you felt that they served you. So the 90% of the time when you're giving freely, free, you're giving them service. Whether they realize it or not, you're giving them free food. You're giving them free appetizers. You're giving them free. And then at the end, they maybe had to pay for an entree, that main meal, right? And then they tip you. That's your time, right? So think about these three things: connecting, giving, and serving, as a really good way to approach how you create your content online and what you do online on social media. Now, how do you do these things? Like, how do you practically implement these things? Well, for one thing, you need to define your goals and set your intentions. Now, I think this is so important because there are a difference between goals and intentions. A goal is something that is defined, and there's a difference between goals and intentions. But the difference also helps you to know where you're going. They give you a planned route to follow, okay? That's what goals are. They are a defined set of places that you're going. Like, it's a map, and this is the location you're going and this is the location you're going. That's what goals are. Now, intentions mean that you make the choice to enjoy something along the way on that route, right? So you're planning to enjoy maybe the scenery, or you plan on stopping and enjoying something. So for example, the differences between, a goal and an intention. A goal, if you're a photographer, may be that you want to work with 10 elopement brides and have 10 annual branding clients. Your intention may be, I intend to show acts of kindness today, opening myself to any possibility to bring joy into the life of a future bride or entrepreneur. That's your intention, right? You plan to enjoy this process. That's important because those intentions really motivate you to keep going when that goal seems like really hard or that it's getting further away, because sometimes goals move, like where you're going to go and where they end. So you need something else to keep you motivated, and it could be intentions. Now, I've heard recently that some people don't have goals, and I understand that, but I do think we should have intentions all the time. You should wake up and intend to do something. You should intend to show someone love, and you should intend to show someone kindness. So why is it important to define your goals and set your intentions first in order to implement, connect, give, and serve? Well, when you can have a clear idea what your intentions are, your content can kind of revolve around that, right? How you approach those things will be different if you have in mind what you intend to do, what you intend to feel, or what your goals are. And here's the third thing that matters no matter what you do. I really feel like some people, for their business, like when it comes to goals and intentions, they kind of just go with a whim. And maybe that's the way you do it. Maybe that's your jam. Like, maybe that's how you work the best. I know for me, I have to have some kind of goal in mind. And I also have worked so hard to have better intentions because, for me, I deal with a lot of chronic illnesses. And it's important for me to plan my intentions because it keeps me positive. It keeps me going in my business, in my life, and in everything that I do. But here's the thing that I want you guys to get really comfortable. You need to decide on a story that you're comfortable sharing. This ties all of those things together: connect, give, and serve. When you're going on there and you're engaging and leaving comments, when you know what you're comfortable with sharing with people, this makes this whole process of using online to market your business so much easier. An easy way to figure out what story that you are feeling comfortable with sharing, and more than one story, guys. It's going to take, lots of them. But I want you to do this in a pretty easy way. I want you to write down. I want you to do like a big brain dump and write as many things related to your why you began your entrepreneurial journey, what drives you still today, personal challenges you've overcome to do what you love, whatever those comfortable or uncomfortable feelings that you feel like you want to put down on paper. This is not going on social media yet, okay? And then answer the following questions. How can I relate it to my audience? How would it benefit my tribe? And what service, content, or lead magnet, what service, content, or lead magnet can relate to this story? Now, this is like one of those really hard things to do, and I find that it's easy to do this at the beginning of the month, to do it in the beginning of the month when you are getting ready to plan your content and all that kind of stuff, okay? Because this helps you not feel overwhelmed every week. You kind of already know what you're thinking about, what your story. So if possible, write all this down during a very quiet time with no distractions. If digital is your game, meaning to plan and write things online, turn off all your notifications and close your windows, tabs, or whatever you call them. Be sure to take this time to really talk about your story that you are comfortable with sharing. Just dump it all on paper. You're not going to use them all in one week, but you might take from them every other month. You want to do this once a month. You might have something that happened in your business this month that you'll talk about next month, or something that happened in your business 10 years ago that you're going to talk about in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So just take time to decide on your story and become comfortable sharing with it. Now, why do these 3 things first? Why define your goals, set your intentions, decide on your stories, ask those questions? It's because when you get clear on your goals, intentions, and your story, you are more capable to connect, give, and serve from an authentic place without the distractions of others. Now what you put out there will truly come from your mind and heart. It gives you the confidence, it gives you the drive to do what you are setting out to do for your business. So when you do all of those 3 wonderful little things, and I say they're small, but they're really big things, and you start making a practice of this, I promise you, you will see things change and shift in your business. Now remember, it's kind of like I've talked about this before in a past episode that, it's not going to just happen overnight. You have to go slow in order to go fast. This might be something that you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And like I said in the beginning, I have a free guide that actually talks about all these 3 steps and a checklist and a weekly planner to help you really put all these 3 steps into place in your business. And I really, really hope that you love it and that it works for you. Now, ladies, thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I am so, I'm just so excited about She's Crafted to Thrive and where she's going. I have so many things in my mind and that I'm working on that I would love to hear if there's anything that you guys are interested in seeing from She's Crafted to Thrive, or any ideas you have, any guests you would like to have on the show. I have next week coming up, the episode with Miss Jasmine Star. You guys know that she's like my first interviewee that I've had that's like in my world famous. Like I think she's super famous and amazing. And she was so generous and grateful. So she is coming up next week. The next episode you're hearing, if you're hearing this in order, if you're just hearing these like in whatever, just know she's going to be in the following episode after, this one, which I believe this is episode 15, and so she'll be episode 16. And I have some more interviews coming up with some more fabulous women. And if you're interested in being a guest, I'd love to hear from you. Please send me an email or reach out to me via Instagram. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'd love to talk with you and, share what I can and do what I can to help. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out on Spotify, iTunes, review us there, as well as share with your friends. We're pretty much on every platform when it comes to listening to She's Crafted to Thrive. So be sure to show us some love and have a great day. And I love you guys for listening. And just remember, you are crafted to thrive.